Tonight, 3 true stories that blur the line between the living and the dead. A haunted nursing home where echoes of children still play, a voice that answers from behind a locked door, and a child who cries, then disappears without a trace. These are true encounters from people who still can't explain what they saw. When I was working night shifts at the nursing home, I started hearing crazy stories from my coworkers about the things they experienced at work. The place used to be an old children's hospital, and patients would report hearing children run around their beds at night. I had 2 very strange experiences myself. The first was one time I was sitting at a conference table having my break. There was a trash can next to me with one of those mirror-type lids. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the reflection of a man walk behind me in the mirror. When I turned around to say hello, there was no one else in the room with me. I quickly left the room and ended my break early. The second incident was even creepier. I was walking down a long, dimly lit hallway. A dining area was to my right. I heard something coming from that area, so I turned to see what it was, and in that moment, a bright red dodgeball came rolling out and across the hall right in front of me. I turned on the light to see if someone was playing a prank, but there was no one there. Some other reports from people I work closely with include the following. Reports of patients seeing a girl in a purple dress sitting on the edge of their bed. All of these reportings were from patients who passed away shortly after seeing her. Call bells going off randomly throughout the night in rooms where no one was living. A doll that would supposedly randomly appear in odd places. One night, my CNA found it in the stairwell and asked me why I had put the doll there. I jokingly told her I would never touch that doll because it was definitely cursed. We were both shocked. It was only the 2 of us that night. This happened just a couple of months ago, in August. Every summer, my sister, her husband, and their little girl comes to stay with me for 3 months. It's become a tradition. The house feels alive when they're here. That day started like any other. I went to work early in the morning, around 12:30 p.m. I got a message from my sister. "Did you come home?" I replied, "No, I'm still at work." She texted again, "Don't lie." I told her, "I swear I haven't left the office." That's when she went quiet for a moment, then said, "Okay, I'll tell you when you get home." When I finally came back around 5 p.m., she looked pale. She said that earlier she saw the light in my bedroom turned on. She called out my name, and someone answered from inside, saying, "Yeah, I'm coming, wait for me," with my voice. Then she knocked on the door again, and my niece, the youngest, called out too. And once more, my voice replied, "I'm coming, just a second," with my voice. They waited for me to come out, but I never did. The light stayed on for a few minutes, then suddenly went off. When I got home, I told them I'd been at work all day, no breaks, no early leave. My sister just stared at me completely speechless. In our country, we hear stories about strange things happening, but never this close. Later that night, my little niece asked me softly, "Uncle, were you really here earlier?" I didn't want to scare her, so I just smiled and said, "Yeah, I came and left," but deep down, I knew whatever answered them from the room that day wasn't me. When I was young, my family was renting a flat. It was newish at the time and built over old farmlands. There was this long, steep staircase in the house that would end just a few meters from the backyard door. My sister and I's room was on the right, giving us a side view of the staircase. One night, we were sleeping with the bedroom door open. Our younger brother Nathan was crying on the bottom step of the staircase. At the time, we were annoyed because we just wanted to sleep. We would call out, "Nathan, why are you crying?" Or, "Nathan, go to bed, it's late." I vividly remember bickering to my sister, arguing who would go and check on him. I remember watching him curled up on the staircase, illuminated by the soft glow of the moonlight. He just kept on crying quietly. We decided to just get out of bed and go together. When we reached his sobbing figure, I laid my hand on his shoulder, and he just disappeared. The crying stopped. Freaked out, I waved my hand around the staircase, and there was really nothing. My sister and I ran to our beds, freaked out, and covered ourselves with the blanket. We forgot to close the door. When I peeked over my blanket, I saw this fuzzy black thing roll from the stairs towards me under the bed. I went to sleep under the covers. When my sister and I woke up, we retold the story to each other, thinking it was a dream. Nothing freaky like that ever happened again. I don't believe in ghosts, but people don't just disappear like that. Have a paranormal experience of your own? Share it with us at officialphantom.mike@gmail.com. Whether in text or voice recording, we want to hear your story. Thank you for tuning in to Phantom Mike. And remember, if you still feel alone, you weren't listening closely enough.